Hello, Ross Jordan with Incoring International. I'm going to be guiding you through the 14 sections of compliancy within Level 1 CMMC. Section 1 is access control. This is a big one. There's a reason this was the first thing they listed. In this video, we're going to address access control and help you in 3 different areas. 1, understanding what it is they are requiring of you. 2, helping you understand how that applies to your organization. And then thirdly, questions to ask your IT team. So let's get started. In plain English, access control is limiting system access to only authorized users, processes acting on behalf of those authorized users and their devices. Now, this is data, yes, but it's so much more, okay? Your organization needs to control who has access to the data and the controls it puts around that. This can be role-based, meaning you're a CFO, so you have this access, or this can be deeper, which is the way I recommend it, which is folder-based. The organization will need to define a process for how that data is assessed and how permission is granted. How do you even ask for permission? Who is authorized to approve it? And even going further, how long is that permission granted? Is that permission granted in perpetuity, or is it for a period of time? Is it only granted to read the information in there, or are they allowed to modify that information that's in there? And to throw a little bit more of a curve at you, just consider mobile device management. Can they access it from their mobile device? As important as the data controls themselves, those changes have to be logged. So if employee A is granted access, you have to log somewhere that you gave them access and who approved it. So access to data is very important, and you'll see as those sections come about that this comes back more and more. This is going to impact your company in multiple ways. One, in just the generation of the rules and guidelines around this and how you're going to create a permission-based system. That's a big discussion. Secondly, management of those processes, approval, denial, what happens if somebody's on PTO. Revocation of those rights is just as important as well. This is likely going to involve a purview or an Intune deployment if you're in a Microsoft environment. And yeah, that could mean a few projects. But alternatively, there are new technologies out there that will enable a rapid deployment of these types of mandates within your organization. I've used a few of them. We've had success with them. Saves a lot of money, and thus far they seem to have worked very well. But again, you'll hear the words purview and Intune, and that's similar to what you're going to have to do. Do your research. Additionally, there are companies out there that offer this as a service. Do a little research and find out what's best for you. Consider the long-term costs of adding more people, more products, more policies, more requirements. That gets complex. So remember, at the end of the day, it's managing controls, who has access to them, and logging them. So the questions for your IT professionals, let's get into that. Questions like this: do we currently have a file or a folder-based permission system set up? Have we tried before? If not, and then what did not make it successful in the past? If you do have it, who's in control of it? Who has access to it? Second question is, do we have a policy on the termination of employees who have access to controlled data? You need to know that that's there and it needs to be done. Third question, who's responsible for adding these permissions? Fourth question, who defines whether they get permissions or not? I mean, just because you ask for it, maybe you have to say no. Why, what, and then what is the escalation policies if somebody is told no, but they actually do need access to the data? Another question, how long would it take us to get this set up? Will there be a skill-based requirement for those that are doing it? In other words, okay, we're going to go with Intune to do this or Purview to do this. Now do I have to have somebody on staff that's trained and certified in those tools in order to do this successfully? Another one, if we're going to look at an outside organization for doing it, what are the costs? What are the challenges for us doing that? Another question, how are we logging access to our system currently? Another question, do you have experience in setting these up? If we don't have it, if not, are you comfortable being audited if we require that? What rules do we have around governance of AI environments and data with AI tools? Please remember, I mean, somebody that's got a chat GPT loaded on their phone and you've given them access to their email account or SharePoint on their mobile phone, and you haven't set credentialized or rules around that, that AI tool gets used on that phone. It has access to that data. You've got to know that stuff. You've got to figure out how you're going to manage that. So that last question in that area is who manages that? And if we see evidence of that accessing our data, what are the policies and rules around getting that rectified? So these should help you identify where you stand with the permissions currently. Also, you will understand the expectation of what you're taking on. Keep in mind that there is a reason the first section of this playbook is data security. Much of what you're going to do depends on decisions that you make now. So make the right decisions now. And again, this is level 1. So if you're going to be requiring level 2, tier 1, where NIST is required, these are tougher decisions, but hopefully that gets you started. Talk soon.